Now, a good question comes to consideration. Steve Lesperance. Does he own the land up there? Is he a shareholder of that property? Or just like everyone else who's a leader in that ministry, are they just stewards over the private properties of CharlesDowell? Because CharlesDowell not only has millions of dollars in his accounts and assets, but he has millions of dollars worth of land with everything that's been developed and built on those lands. So if CharlesDowell was to pay back all the members that he's swindled and cheated and stolen from, in every form of iniquity, just maybe he may have enough money to pay back every person that he's done wrong to. And if not, at least pay out a good portion of it. And since he wants to go to prison, so desperately, hey, everything he cannot pay, obviously he can do in jail time. So let's get to the story here. Steve Lesperance. Most people, when they listen to Straightway Truth Ministry for a while, here and there, people will be talked about very well spoken of. And so you hear about these people, and the curious mind, or even some kind of thoughts comes to your mind to have you to go investigate who are these people, to go see if they're worth talking to, possible, who are they, to find out what kind of person that they are for yourself. So Steve Lesperance here, back in, is that really 2020? Okay, so around that time period, and then following from there, what happened is, I've heard that they were so-called skilled in legalese and all these other special rule books that they can use in courts of law and so forth. So they would supposedly host gatherings on Skype so people can talk to each other through Skype, and supposedly play films on Skype for people to watch, supposedly watch movies or such, because that's what they try to use as a hook for most people, supposedly to receive fellowship. However, how they've been on the down low and how it is now with everything being exposed, the more so about Straightway Truth Ministry, they may not be a good fit for fellowship. And let's get into it. So beginning here, I reached out to Steve Lesperance on Facebook Messenger. And having this conversation through Messenger, just trying to reach out and find out what to do next, because the fellowship I was around, they weren't behaving properly towards me. And anyone with some level of understanding would know that the fellowship I was around and how the group carried themselves, where they're being secretive and just not talking right either, to the point where they're making the guys effeminate and dependent on the leader of that group, and go and act childish and disrespectful towards people who doesn't go with their plans and so forth. So with that, what they would do in particular is go so far as to try to punk people to get them to capitulate. So when reaching out furthermore so to find out the next step of moving forward, expecting it just to be that one group and that one group alone, that's when I got in here and try to reach out. And according to the instructions taught, a lot of stuff was got rid of. And of course, I was put in contact with someone who eventually was done with all that was going over there. So not only myself, but also someone else who's found out many months ago, practically back in 2024, they had a clue. So 7, almost 8 years from now, it's quite some time, and people will leave you hanging like that. You know something's off when you have people who are saying great swelling words and just really trying to sell you something they don't have, something they cannot deliver on, false advertisement and so forth. Yeah, there's many ways to fit in there different things that are relevant to tell the truth on the matter. So at the time I was in a certain location, and after going through the environment, I moved somewhere else because I was at a certain location at a certain time for a set period of time. Oh yeah, and second person you're seeing here, Webster. So Donnie, he got a clue eventually. I have yet to reach out to him. So from the understanding that was taught, and there's plenty of other information out there too. He's over there up north, and he hardly reaches out to anyone else. In some other videos, we're going to get to and the material and so forth that's available. We'll get to those receipts. So here's the thing. With all this information and talking about how people are supposed to save money, get out of the areas that they're in, move in together and figure things out, they're supposed to be taught these different kind of skills that they're mentioning here. Now, you see this information here? Wait till we get to some other material. Now this right here you're going to find out this statement right here, that this piece of material, this information he quoted, you're going to find out he contradicts himself. Check it out. You're going to see. So that's another thing that certain people out there like to do. When they're skilled in what they're doing for evil, very wise at it, they like to spread out the people who are more open and susceptible, the people who are not so closed, who are not going to put you through a screening process to screen you out, to find out who you are, what you're about. Because in some cultures, especially in the East, you got to be in good association with another person before you sit down at the table with them to do business. You better become excellent comrades, constituents, or even friends outright before you can make deals with such people. But over here in the West, in different businesses as well as different environments and so forth, they just have to use strategy, especially on the people who have a what you would call a so-called heart. They actually have a soul still. When people get wrapped up into evil, their soul gets messed up into such. That's why people who get into evil, you don't know if you're talking to a person anymore or you're talking to something else. It's that deep. Oh yeah, here's the bonus too. 2024, the calendar that they made for 2024, big no. Big trouble. The report was brought out in information as well as understanding that the scheduled times was at least 1 month earlier, just to get more people to fill in the seats. They get them to hand over the money at the conventions, at the meetups, and so forth, thinking they're there for the right appointed times for to go there and be scheduled and, settled in and everything else. And you find out later on these people are pushing it a month earlier through the board. Very unethical. So they mentioned Skype here, and eventually I picked it up. See, back then, around that time, they've taught certain things that are now legitimate, so that expression for anyone who's listening, who's from the inside, and as well as those on the outside, do not do that thing that they teach because it's unethical. It's actually linked to something very bad. And how they like to do it is that when someone shows you something that is wrong, what they'll do is turn around and say, huh, and just scoff at it. And that simple gesture try to persuade your mind to think it's okay to do, when it's a strategy to persuade your mind to do something that's wrong, something you should not be doing. So that gesture that is taught and the mindset behind it and so forth, stay away from that. And if you can get away from it, so you don't do that anymore. Oh, here's an interesting detail for people who want to know. Most people who were supposed to be involved were recommended to join certain trades, get involved in those trades and so forth. Well, this one in particular, I was not taught the ins and outs and everything that needs to be done to make it possible. So, considering the outcome of the situation, even though what I'm doing is not what was expected, still there's results being done from this alternative that I'm doing instead for bringing in money and so forth, and all these other things that's important. Just the usual, staying busy, something that actually gets you focused and keeping you set on something to go forth, giving you a goal to move forward from and towards, is a gradual process. In things like this, when you have setbacks, all you can do is just get back up. Here's the thing. They're a chat moderator on the tech team to an extent. And how do they not have all this time to arrange a meetup for people to communicate and address other matters too? What are they doing with all their time? All their additional time? Because from my understanding of the logistics, they have plenty of free time. And what they do in the down low, we'll cover the rest of that next, after this. Or actually, wait, hold on, I gotta correct that. Not to this right here, but the second piece following, that one's gonna be brief, and then it'll be to that next, after that. So that'll be third in line. This is first. See, here's one thing they will not tell you. What they do on the down low, it only affects the person doing it just so they can enjoy the benefits of it, but it affects anyone else who gets pulled into it and convinced that it's legitimate. And when you find out in person or find out from someone who's been in person and can explain it and tell you how it works and how it goes along the process, they'll have you convinced that you're on Mount Everest when you're standing on the dunghill. Is that deceptive? You think you're climbing to the top when you're somewhere you shouldn't be at. Because it will affect you to it would affect people who get involved to such an extent that they're deceived, trying to deceive you, making you think you're wise, but you're becoming deceived. Getting wrapped up into their delusions that they're involved in. Because they're in delusion 1, 2, and all the flavors of delusion. So here's where it gets very interesting. Another person will cover eventually, should the time and opportunity be given. This right here, June the 4th, not too long ago, a short time ago here, in the time span. Then let me tell you this real quick. After communicating to them, that's when I seen a particular video come up by Mir. And at first, for someone who didn't know at the time, the catch is this. Whatever I told to them here, that's when out of a sudden, out of nowhere, Mir came out with likewise information and showing the book material in one of his recordings. And I realized, say, wait a minute, what's going on? How did he get a clue to bring that up? And eventually, a lot more people start doing the same trick too. And I didn't know why people were so enthusiastic in that one area. But as time has moved on, it makes more sense now that all these things are being disclosed. These people, they spin in each other's ears. They mess around with some high-level stuff. And then they turn around and try to act as if they're with you when they're in the low-key against you. They'll have you played on such a level. We're getting this close. We're getting closer to the door, but it's not yet. It's waiting to happen, and it wants to happen, but the delay is there for a reason. It's borrowed time that we're on, people. We should know what time it is by now. Those who don't get it, the best opportunity is those who don't know what time it is and have the opportunity of favor, so they have a chance before it's concluded. What is this I'm explaining to him here on this situation? So, we're talking to the group and addressing what they're doing that is contrary to the instructions. They did not receive it. They did not openly express their mind, their thoughts on what's influencing them in that matter. But behind the scenes, some very suspect things happened. And that's when, after learning over time, it made more sense now why those kind of things happen. When someone says they're for you and they mess up, you let them know so that they can get it right. And they are going to resist you on such a level, and they keep doing it. It gives you a clue, gives you a wake-up call, idea of what to expect from that situation. Especially when you're giving them plenty of time and opportunity to turn it around, and they're going to be cemented in that. Best thing you can do is move forward and shut those doors so you can leave it in its place with them. Now this segment right here that he's showing, that's his favorite right there. 1 through 140. 1 through 140. Let me give you some other game right now, people. What do they like to do? Oh, they will quote you material back and forth, but when it comes to performance, applying it, you're going to find out they've been fronting for a very long time. And since people start speaking up and being consistent in speaking up, you will find out that after a little steam, a little bit more pressure, a little here, a little there, they start to bend, and that's when you find out what they're really made of. Are they made out of straw? Or are they made of, are they solid, you know? Are they legit? Or are they shaky? Are they authentic? Or are they sketchy? So this here, at the time, is a gradual process of growing. That's what was being communicated at the time back then. And now with the things being made more clear, and after being away from the toxicity of the environment and the things that follows, that understanding, as well as the information received afterwards, and everything else that's come forth too, it makes more sense now what's going on. Let's talk about this real quick right here. So they answer their questions here, what they're asking. There's a big emphatic, no, a big major scam. Because these people, with what they've been doing and what's being brought out to the open, they're not about that kind of business. Let's keep it plain and simple, right? Now this right here, we'll get to that. There's another detail I would have to mention at fourth. And so with that, on the fourth, I could break it up here on the end and perhaps add it in. That way it's clearly distinguished and made clear for what it is. Now for the second, so what happened is, in that whole conversation, to express the positivity and the excitement and giving the positive report of what's come forth from being involved on the right side. It had this guy backpedaling big time. So at that moment of time, I didn't know why he was backpedaling. And now it makes more sense. Because it's not them, it's something else. Oh yeah, what happened to the whole conversation here? I deleted the app many months ago. Apparently, all the messages I sent here disappeared. So yeah, basically he wasn't really trying to communicate. Someone else was communicating on their behalf, responding, and they're basically backpedaling. Oh, by the way, let's try to... So here's the thing too you need to consider. Back then, his hair color used to be there. Within a short time span, he's went gray that quick. Oh yeah, let's not forget too, while we're on this particular topic, we're going to take the gloves off this one right here. Even though there's tape right on there, good enough tension. We're going to take the gloves off on this one right here and tell it how it is. Corey Phillips, Daniel Muir, as well as CharlesDowell Jr., and a few others you may have noticed, whether you're there for yourself or you're just on the outside looking in. Those guys over there, they're aging rapidly. Makes you wonder how much time do they have left on the shelf. Oh yeah, what is it taught again in the days of the wicked are shortened? Good mercy. Look at the power and the judgment of the Most High on these people. Now it makes more sense. And part 3 here, when we get to this right now, it's going to really break it down for you. It's going to blow the lid off. So, 2024 into 2025 here, people have been putting out the information left and right. All sorts of people. You know, you just, on your spare time or wherever, you just put a video out. You put a video to go listen to or so. And then you get more videos in the feed. Suggested videos. So it comes to your consideration. And you decide to go click to see what's about. And you find out, okay, so there's more to this than what you already know about. So there's people who come from different denominations. The camps, as well as those temples, and the such. And you find out, okay, there's some who are still continuing forward, and there's others where either they go back to what they used to be or came from, or they decide to prefer their version of communication and so forth. So they still make a concerted effort to bring forth what's being done behind the scenes, to bring what's done in the darkness into light. Let's stop by one of these real quick, huh?
Thank you. Thank you, you fucking nigger. Thank you, you fucking nigger. Thank you. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now this one should be more.
Homes faster for Mr. Dirty Old Ford. Right? That's what we do. Build homes faster for Mr. Dirty Ford and his dirty old GTA developers. The mob. God, we got the mob in Kawartha Lakes. This is just great. Right? Look at them all. They just do whatever they like. It's like building in your own backyard. Holy shit. That's cold. Keep on building. Build those homes, no rules, no laws. That's Dougie Ford's way. Anything because it's build TA developer. Here, can I video you? Thank you. Thank you, you fucking nigger. Yeah.
So you have people who are supposed to be representing the Most High. And that's how they talk. That's how they talk to others like that and represent. Oh, there's plenty more receipts on here. Only seen so much of these, but not the rest. Gotta admit, what they're doing is catching up with them. You can't be playing games, I'm telling you. Not just because, but because it is what it is. They said it, they made it clear, they will not alter or change what has gone out of his lips. He will not alter or change what has gone out of his lips. So you can't be playing games with them. Period. So what's being communicated with this third source here? So this guy, this man has actually made an effort going about his life, doing what he's doing. He went to go take care of his business. And he started finding out some serious red flags over there. And when dealing with people, see, it's not one person, it's not everyone else's fault. It's the person behind the camera trying to deflect against everyone else. So all those people over there on those private properties underneath Charles, they're the ones that are into some serious bad news. And again, this person right here, to check out all this material, just type in that information up there, or what was done here.
Everybody, this is Jermaine, and as you can see, this is Brother Steve with you, and we are a part of the Straightway Tech Team, which many of you know that we are just a small part of the Straightway Tech Team. I'm one of the video
not too long ago
team. I'm one of the video personnel, and Brother Steve handles the website as well as the search engine optimization. And in addition to that, also the social media aspect. But what we wanted to come in and talk to you about today is just a few things. First and foremost, we want to thank you.
You can tell that man, he can care less by the attitude. They look through the video from there, and you sit down and listen to it. You'll catch on. You'll find out for what he
have some fun here with Pastor Dowell.
Is expressing.
Welcome to Canada, Pastor Dowell. Land of the liars.
And this right here, the short end. So there's actual Native Americans in the north.
All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is YouTube. We're up here in Canada with Brother Steve. Say hi, Brother Steve.
Discounts.
Shalom, saints.
So these people right here.
The car right here. And I suppose you're wondering why in the world, Pastor, are you making a video at a gas station in Canada? I'm going to show you something. This is funny, okay? This is hilarious. This is how twisted, warped, and distorted this wicked country is with these satanic people who's running this world today. Now look.
You deserve what you get if you believe these liars.
When you listen to the right people, things make more sense and it's more clear. When you mess around and listen to the wrong sources, and you mess around and do a lot of bad things.
Personnel and Brother Steve handles the website as well as the search engine optimization. And in addition to that, also the social media aspect. But what we wanted to come in and talk to you about today is just a few things. First and foremost, we want to thank you for all of your support as far as the Straightway Tech Team YouTube page goes. We appreciate all the views. We appreciate all of the things that you've done to support us and continue to keep us moving forward. And I want to just say thank you personally for me. And we appreciate it. Please continue to view us, continue to encourage more saints to subscribe, because the more saints that we have to subscribe, the more we can combat the negativity that's out there about Pastor, our pastor, as well as the Straightway Ministry. And we want to let you know, and Brother Steve, I want you to chime in on this. We have drawn our line in the sand, and we are steadfast behind and support Pastor Dowell and the Straightway Truth Ministry. That is the reason we're here. That is the reason we give our time, we give our efforts, and we give our best to you. So before I turn it over to Brother Steve there in Canada, I want to give you one update real quickly. I want to thank everyone for their patience when it comes to the GOTS 2013.
And clear. Wrong kind of people, especially when they're doing the wrong kind of things. So as a result, what has happened is some people did not like it. They put a angry emoji and so forth to express their social media reactions and so forth. And also, here's the thing. Not just one, not just a handful, but almost everyone who's on those properties are taught in these kind of things. So when they get all upset in their feelings and emotions and so forth, because you say no to evil and the wrong kind of things, they get frustrated, and they want to give you a piece of their feelings and emotions. So what do? They send some nasty stuff your way, and you'll notice it's either a day later or two. They like to, toss rocks and hide hands, So eventually, what I did is I refused to answer his question, because as much as he spent years learning and doing all these things, especially quoting that piece of information, he should know better. He should have known what was being communicated and why. The clue that he should have caught on to. But now it's 2024 into 2025. This stuff is coming out now. It's embarrassing. People been there for how many years? And they're there for the wrong reasons. And they barely know what they're reading. They can't comprehend it, but they can quote it. So what happens is I start sharing some material to actually help people to learn and prepare themselves and be more supplied and skilled in what they should be doing, what they say that they do. So if they know what they're doing, this should be no problem. So when posting here and there, either once or so a day or something like that, either once or twice, that's when they didn't like what I was sharing with them. So as a result, check this out. They would bury the material I would share in their group here. So what you're seeing here, what I'm sharing and communicating in these receipts, whatever happened to that piece of material that I just mentioned a few minutes ago, I don't exactly have that, but now I have a clue what it is. These people get in there and intentionally bury the useful information by getting on here and spamming. And whatever that was going to help everyone, they push it out of the way to try to get it out of the way. And yes, they have this material. It's free to download. So those who are serious in that kind of area of their life, especially in their relationship, they're going to need this kind of material to be informed in different areas so that they can endure different challenges and overcome with a different task that's thrown their way. And what happens? Oh yes, I got to, I have to not only expose what Steve Lesperance does, but also Shay McKnight, or shall we say, Keyboard McKnight. you're gonna see why. I'm about to break up in a separate video here, just to show you again, so it's right to the point at the beginning. So what happens? Pretty much what some people like to do, they like to type and say negative things, and as a result, they're throwing rocks and hiding them hands, trying to send trouble your way. And people actually jump on that bandwagon. These people should know better. With all the years of the information given to them, and this is how they process thought. This is how they function. I'm telling you, people, I'm not making this up. Better choice of words. You can't make this up, people. No cap. Oh yeah, Keyboardman Knight, he gets on here and does this little fancy too himself. Oh yeah, let's quote right here what he's saying, Steve-O. Steve Lesperance. Steve-O. Why are you hiding? Oh, what, you don't get the joke? CharlesDowell would get on there and talk trash about Gino, trying to call him out so they would have their debates to debate their cause, supposedly, to iron out the matters and find out who's right and who's wrong over different talking points. So he used to get in there and say, Gino. He used to call him out, so, Steve-O. Are you backpedaling, Steve-O? So he wants to go out here and do some messed up stuff behind the keyboard on the first paragraph. In the second paragraph, he says, also, I have stated and asked you questions on your public statement on your lack of support for me. What? You don't know that's how they talk? There's people out there who they're about that type of jazz. No cap. Travel enough, you'll find the wrong kind of crowds, the wrong kind of groups that you should not be around, the wrong kind of attitudes. I mean, hey, if you travel enough, you'll find some people who are worth the means of communication and being tied to, whether they're in the walk with you, hand in hand, or if they're at a distance somewhere else. Otherwise, just association for the right purposes, because of the goal that is supposed to be accomplished, that is clearly revealed and distinguished on the second half, on those 4 accounts. Because this group right here, they're not about the mission, they're about agenda. They don't do what's written, they do what is instructed to them, because of all the motives on the down low. These people have millions of dollars, okay? How do you squeeze people for more money just so they can send in your multi-million dollars? and that's one of your closest friends, one of your quote unquote close brothers, because you put him in that position. Hey, when you're not listening to all the rhetoric and you have a clear enough mind to actually discern what's going on, to not hear all this deception spitting into your ear and influencing your mind, you can obviously ask, so these people have multi-millions of dollars and they expect you, who are barely trying to get by, to throw your money at the situation? There's people out there like that. They don't want to show the goodness of their own hearts. They want to amass resources and such and hoard it for themselves. And they don't want to lift a finger because of their condition. So whatever support they're talking about here, what are they talking about? Then Midnight here, Keyboard Midnight. He's been at this how many years too? And he knows about sending oh yeah, you can go out there and listen to the archives. Listen to all the messages he gives. The statements and claims. He knows about sending whammies. He knows what a whammy is. He's about that funk past funk. He's about that rottenness, about that bad business. He's about that life. Oh yeah, he's got time, cuz. He's about that life. We'll get onto that in another video, as mentioned. Let's see. Spectre. I have also seen him post some seemingly opposing comments. See, I'm showing you raw, uncut. This is how they are behind the scenes. They're one way in front of that camera, but they're like this behind the scenes. Father, send your son in the right time, the right season, at the right place to deal with these matters in the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, here's the receipt right here. Hallelujah. So, get this. Go check everyone else's material out there. Go check out the other receipts. Let's break this down real quick. That foundation, what in the world? You can go look up its database. Go look in the database over there. You're going to find out it's a fiction. It's fictitious. That it's not actually original. It's just a sketchy little fundraiser. You know, like how people run Ponzi schemes and pyramid schemes? Oh yeah, they're going to set up this little fund, this little thing to go fund, this little so-called deposit where people go send money to, expecting to get results, and the people run off with the money back. And it takes so many years until they finally get caught because they can't stop with the stealing, they can't stop with the swindling, they can't stop with the robbery. And then they have this address right here posted. as well as that email, that is sketchy to the third power. That is next level sketchy right there. Go ahead. Google search it. Go watch the videos. What's that one man who's made a statement recently, not too long ago, at some point where he said that he's gonna help those who be involved in such matters, so that whenever things go sideways and Mr. Defamation doesn't depend on the Most High, all up in their flesh and their feelings, as well as, being a pit viper over there, biting everyone over the internet, as well as behind the screen and so forth, try to tell them X, Y, and Z, when they're clearly, hiding behind that keyboard and ducking smoke and being a backpedaler over there. They want to influence the minds of people and try to convince people that they have all the so-called receipts to come and take it to the Roman system with us. Hey, we're just trying to, help people as it is. And this is how they receive us after trying to be a help and an outreach to them. First, letting them know that, hey, what you're doing is not right here. You need to correct this. You need to get it right. To where now we need to know, let everyone else know what's going on, so that they're informed, so they know what they're getting involved in when they make their choices. And they want to come after us, after everyone else who's communicating and speaking up, because now they're not making millions of dollars off people like they used to and have been. Hundreds of thousands of dollars here and there, especially from people who've got deep pockets to just hand over to them, thinking they're going to receive an inheritance and be treated well, when they're treated worse than the child of the king, than a child of the king, treated worse than a barbarian savage, just degraded to such a level to where not even modern day slavery, not even slavery itself was like that. And they're trying to tell them that they're free, that this is how they're supposed to be. And they want to come after us because they want millions of dollars in their pocket. I return those curses and demons back to the senders and the source, and off to where Jesus will have them go off into. In the name of Jesus. So, please explain this. The manners presented here, how do you read the book and not know what's being communicated here? Oh yeah, that's right. They get in camera and they say a bunch of negative words onto people to influence and affect their minds. And then on top of it too, how they treat them in person. Oh, they think they're gonna receive something good if they endure all the negative forms of abuse. Physical abuse, verbal abuse, hashtag, Bryce and Mir, as well as one of Corey Phillips' children, who've been beat by, 3 people in rotation for a couple days, and whatever else that's going on behind the scenes. Oh yeah, Nelly snitched on that too. put it out there in the down low, on the open, for people to have the information. Hashtag P. Diddy case, P. Diddy files, Epstein files, Epstein game, Pizzagate, you name it. Plenty of it's going down. Downtown China to Chinatown. And just so you know, there's a bull in the China shop, so clean up on all three. Have fun. Oh yeah, just a little bit more. This keyboard ninja, Sketchy Steve, this is what he does. He'll get on Windows Messenger and try to hide behind that so that they can poke at you, that they can try to provoke you. And then they'll try to turn around and say, well, you know, he talks like that to the women, and so they're X, Y, and Z, and blah, blah, blah. Just, I'm telling you, people, this is how they do it. This is how they are on the down low, behind the scenes. They're on some serious crookedness. It's catching up with them right now, and it's what, not too far from now from being sealed. A little here, a little there, and like that. Oh yeah, what's to say right there in the Proverbs? Greed again deceived people, because they did not know it would take their lives, like a bird rush into the snare. Well, that's a different piece of the scripture, but it adds in here too, because some people, they think they're going to do that with the Most High and think they're just going to slide by. Oh yeah, what does it also say too? Because of judgment, because against the evil work is not executed speedily, therefore is fully set in the hearts of men to do evil. You think I'm talking? Wait till the day comes. And wait till the judgment comes. At the judgment seat. At the resurrection. Oh yeah, and this Spectre person too. Let's make it clear and simple. Let's clear it up real quick. If they were in him, one of his, they would know who I am of. But because they are not of his, but are of the world, since they are of the world, they don't know him, therefore they have no connection with me. Because my life is hidden in him, and they can't comprehend him. Therefore, they don't know who is of him. Because they are not of my Father, they don't know the Father, and they don't know those who are his. So though they say they are of his, they don't know those who are his, but they persecute them instead. In Jesus told the scribes that they seek to kill him. So even though even though the hypocrites would say that they know him, but they seek to kill him because of those who are grafted in and they're serious about serving the Most High, and these people want to turn around and kill those who are of the Most High, who remain in the body of Jesus. They think they're trying to do this to just people themselves, but they're doing it to Him. And with all the hours of information going into their ears, they should know better than to act like this. Oh, very interesting. The other side does not want to talk. They want to pay money towards the court and try to use common law and everything else to try to pay off the court with the, with the straw man, the common law, everything else. They just want to cheat the system and bribe the council and the rest of them. And they don't want to speak up for themselves. They want to say all the stuff like, oh, we're just being persecuted. It's just the tribulation and everything else. We're just being persecuted. This is why they think like this, because they believe just about everything that comes out of their mouth. So in conclusion, let's zoom in real quick. Look at how much younger they were just a few years ago. They actually had some color to their hair back in, just a few years ago? And how they are now? So in conclusion on this video, Steve is about that kind of business. And anyone who is still there, especially from Canada, from the Canada slave camp, that is also called a so-called community, do what Brother Ugly did. Pack up and ship out before the door closes. Because when the door closes and it's sealed shut, you can't get on the ark. You can be left out with all the sinners and publicans, all the heathen and publicans, and those who are going to be in trouble the Most High. So stay away from those spirits that's using Steve to make him very sketchy, who's turned him into what someone's dubbed the name of the personality of the evil spirits using him as Sketchy Steve. Oh yeah, what is those spirits have been using him when making the bold statements and making the excitement of what's been experienced? Oh yeah, spirits of Antichrist, they hate people mentioning Jesus in the right light. They hate the excitement of hearing about Jesus. Oh yeah, and since these people know about Worm Really so much, oh yeah, here's a fan favorite. How's that song go? Jesus, Jesus, there's just something about that name. Master, Savior, Jesus, there's just something about that name. Kings and kingdoms will all pass away, but there's just something about that name.